Hey everyone, notsoAceTrainer here, and here are my first impressions on Pokémon Legends ZA, both on the Nintendo Switch 1, the original one, and the Nintendo Switch 2. This is all spoiler free, by the way. I'm not even using my own game footage for this, so no worries seeing something that you don't really want to see. And also, this is not my final review. That will come out eventually after the DLC is done, because I really want to take in the game before saying my final thoughts. For now, I'll just divide this thing into chapters so you can check out whatever part you want. And so, let's begin. I'll start with the thing that most want to know. Does the game run well? It is no surprise that it runs basically flawless on Switch 2, with it having a stable 60 FPS for the whole time I was playing it, with a good draw distance and characters moving smoothly in the distance as well. We expected this. It's on Switch 1 that the biggest surprise comes. Though the frame rate does drop, especially when you move the camera faster or change direction suddenly, this game runs on Switch 1 how we hoped Scarlet and Violet would run on Switch 1. It is nothing like its predecessor in the sense that I do not advise anyone to rush to buy a Switch 2 just to play Pokémon Legends ZA. Save your money for a sale on the Switch 2 or whatever comes next, and while you'll not have the smoothest possible experience, you'll not have a bad one as well. Draw distance does suffer quite a bit though, as well as how things move when you're slightly far away, but nothing like the Artisan Windmill, for example. Loading times are also longer on Switch 1, but nothing that will make you lose your mind. This is the one that neither version will win any awards for, though it is undeniable that there's a lot more detail on the Switch 2 version than there is on the Switch 1 version. In order to keep things running smoothly, textures look a lot more blurred on the original console, and there's a more jagged look to models. This isn't as noticeable when playing handheld, but it is still there for sure. The Switch 2 version is a lot better, with every texture having more detail, but it is undeniable that this is still Game Freak's biggest enemy, with a lot of places looking as if a JPEG was just plastered there with little to no work done. But that isn't what really matters. The controls feel pretty natural so far. They are easy to get a grasp of as they're nothing too new, and even during the new battle system that I felt could take a little bit of getting used to, everything is made in a way that feels welcoming to new trainers, which, well, it's everyone this time. The most basic things you are taught are the moves, which use your X, A, B and Y buttons, with ZL being used for targeting, and that just makes battling super comfortable. Speaking of the battle system, it is really fun. While the battles I've had didn't have much strategy involved, I can clearly see how they'll evolve with my progress and how they are capable of sucking you in and immersing you in the action. 100% a great decision to do this in Pokémon Legends ZA, as the heated battles make up for the more static environment that a city has. As for this specific city, the city of Lumiose, it has nothing to do with the one we visited 12 years ago in Pokémon X and Y. It is a lot more alive and flourishing with not only trainers but also Pokémon, with the duality of the night and day cycle giving it even more of a living city feel. The characters I've met so far, albeit not many yet, have the potential to become very interesting characters that could rival the ones we've met in our adventure in Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet. There's one thing that bothers me about the whole thing, and it bothers me because of how good they are, but I'll save that for another spoiler-free video next week. Now, I couldn't end this without talking about the music. The music in this game will take over you. Every track so far has been fantastic, with the smoothest of jazz making you nostalgically bop your head as you stroll through the huge city of Lumiose. I'm telling you, this Lumiose city theme specifically will be stuck in your head for months. Another great work done by Game Freak and the musicians that they invited. So, my final thoughts. You absolutely do not need the Switch 2 to have a better experience than the one you had on release with Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet. And despite the game suffering from a lot of the issues that plague Pokémon games, it's undeniable that this game had a lot more care put into it than its predecessor. Everything else is shaping up to be a great adventure, from the battle system that is really fun, the gameplay that feels comfortable and natural, and the music that just embraces you with nostalgia for a place that you didn't think you were gonna visit this soon. There is the potential for this game to be one of the best, if not the best, Pokémon game from modern Pokémon, but to be sure about that, well, I'm going back to Kalos. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube member Good Old Deo and my Twitch subscribers Newbies Here, Zanes222, Lazarix, Dr. Joe, Dark Puffy 1, Ventura, Blinkfish, Streamer Maxis Back, and Official Noise for going that extra mile. Thank you so much for all of your support.